Christine Arena for 3BL Media, and I'm here at the CERES 11 conference. Joining me now is Simpson from CALpers. Anne, thanks for joining me. So for those people who've never heard of CALpers, explain what it is and how big it is.
CALpers is a term that stands for the California Public Employees Retirement System, which is one of the handful of biggest pools of capital in the world. The assets, as of this morning, are something in the order of 235 billion. The members of our scheme are something in the order of 1.5 million individuals. So a very large, very long-term investor and very actively engaged with the ESG agenda.
So how do you make ESG issues real for investors? What are the barriers around that?
Well, integrating anything which is a better appraisal of risk or a better understanding of opportunities on return, this has always looked good on paper. And people understand the environment has always had an impact and always will. Social issues, maybe your workforce, maybe your customers, maybe the community you're in, that's obviously having an impact. And governance is almost in the realm of the category now. Of course, the quality of the board, the incentive plans, the governance of a company is going to have an impact. So the barrier now that we all have to overcome is where are we going to find the data points to actually connect these issues with what investors have traditionally got very comfortable with, which is financial analysis.
Are there different standards in different industries? And again, how do you manage that issue?
Yes, of course. If you're making donuts, greenhouse gas emissions will be very different from if you're in coal mining. And what we want is a reporting framework for companies which integrates their financial standards, but the underlying fundamental principles of financial reporting are the same. It's about materiality, it's about relevance, it's about quality, it's about assurance.
So what's your advice to mainstream investors looking to grow their portfolio in a more sustainable direction?
When we say investors, this is a motley crew of different people and institutions. I think for the asset owners, like CALpers, we're the ones, CALpers is somewhat different to the mainstream because the vast bulk of our money is invested internally. We have a very big internal investment staff. But for the average pension fund, this money is externally managed. And therefore, the trick here for the asset owners is to work out how do we make sure that our external fund managers have identified the critical issues in environmental, social and governance on the agenda, and have got a conversation going to ask them what do they think matters, how do they think it matters, how are they going to monitor this, how is it integrated into their investment strategy, and then making sure that they're getting reports on how that strategy is being delivered.
So what is the catalyst for a market shift towards sustainability and ESG?
I would say disaster, typically, isn't it? So BP, and people are suddenly saying, oh, maybe it's relevant how a company subcontracts or deals with risk in this issue. Or let's try the subprime financial crisis. I say maybe there's a governance agenda here. Maybe we need to worry about the people who are on the boards of banks and think, are they competent? Do they have experience? Have the incentive systems led us to the point where part of the economy is unraveling and having a terrible impact? I wish it was the success stories. I wish it was, what's going wonderfully well in terms of wastewater treatment, but it's not. What gets people's attention is a disaster.
So how do you, as an organization, as an entity, manage ESG and the way it's evolving?
In exactly the same way you do in any portfolio. If you construct a portfolio, you're looking at risk and return profiles, you have streams of data and information, you have meetings with companies, you commission reports, you form a view. And what we're saying is integrating this is absolutely no difference to thinking about long-term finances. In fact, it's a buried and hidden part of long-term financial success.
Thanks for joining me, Anne, and thanks for watching 3BL Media. Please continue to join us for continuous coverage of the CERES 11 conference.